In 2023, I left my small hometown in regional Australia to start a law degree. I was excited and full of anticipation, but stepping onto campus was a culture shock. Back home, the rhythm of life was slow, with familiar faces and a laid-back coastal lifestyle. Pursuing a rigorous degree at a prestigious university was rare, and educational resources were more limited. But at university, the landscape of tertiary education was alive with activity and overflowing with connections and opportunities that I had never envisioned. In one of my first lectures, a former High Court Justice came and spoke to us. As an advocate for education, he asked everyone in the room to raise their hand if they went to a public school. And in a room of nearly 400 people, only about 12 hands went up. This moment made me reflect. In this setting, we are the future power brokers of our world, yet this degree isn't reflective of the true diversity of Australia. Despite attending a good regional private school, I felt incredibly out of place. I would have conversations with peers who had familial ties to prestigious firms. Many had elite schooling, exclusive extracurriculars, and highly educated families to lean on for support, giving them unique industry knowledge and cultural capital that I lacked as a first-gen student. If I felt alienated with my level of privilege, I could only imagine the challenges faced by those with far fewer advantages. Today, I want to explore how we can bridge this gap, ensuring that education becomes a true equaliser, reflecting the diverse fabric of our nation. My belief is that talent and potential are equally distributed, but outcomes and opportunities are not. To enhance meaningful inclusion in our workplaces, parliaments, and spaces of power, we must dismantle the barriers to education and ensure equal outcomes for all students, regardless of their background. Education is the great equaliser. It's the critical driver of social progress. Educational equity means that we support those who are most in need. It's not just a lofty ideal, it's a fundamental human right. However, according to UNICEF, Australia has one of the most unequal education systems out of all OECD nations. When education is unequal, the fabric of our society is at risk. Cycles of poverty, marginalisation, and injustice repeat themselves. It's not just a moral imperative, but it's actually an economic one too. Educational inequity has cost us $20 billion from just 2009 to 2015. Studies show that countries with equitable education systems have stronger economies and more cohesive societies. So when we level the playing field, everybody truly wins. This makes me question, how can we as young people have productive and empowering conversations about the biggest issues facing our generation if we haven't all had the chance to build the critical thinking skills and the knowledge needed to participate? How can we pioneer innovative solutions to women's rights, climate change, or AI ethics if only a privileged few of us have had the chance to learn about and engage in these topics? And when we deliberate in local, national, and international decision-making, how can we ensure that everyone is meaningfully included if access to education isn't equal? There are 3 key barriers that create educational inequity. The first is location. Studies show that regional, rural, and remote students have significantly less access to educational resources than metropolitan students. We are less likely to go to university and high school, and we are more likely to drop out if we enrol. Non-metropolitan regions also tend to have lower levels of educational expectations. This makes sense. If the people around you haven't pursued higher education, this can create certain norms and expectations, and it's difficult to imagine a different future if you can't see it. The second barrier is your intersectional identity. For example, accessing higher education is harder if you're Indigenous. While studies confirm that Indigenous children have the exact same level of career aspiration as their non-Indigenous counterparts, their communities are one of the most underrepresented in Australian higher education. While 50% of people under the age of 25 are enrolled in a bachelor's degree, only about 7% of Indigenous people in their 20s and 30s hold this qualification. Relocating and attending university is expensive, and there are limited opportunities to participate in university on country. The third barrier is your family status. Being the first in your family to attend university means that you are an intergenerational trailblazer, and you're less likely to have guidance. In a study by King and McCann, first and family students lacked a college-going climate at home. meaning their families had little knowledge of academic practices and the university system itself. Consequently, they navigated the university transition with less cultural capital and a higher learning curve than their peers. But to create positive change, we can't just discuss the problems. We need to come together to find the solutions. A solution is personalised and culturally sensitive support. In my role as the CEO of Inspire Tomorrow Education, I've seen firsthand how building connections can demystify pathways to higher education to build a fairer world. If you're a young person, signing up for free support programs can help you learn about pathways to university that you may not have known about otherwise. Talk to people in your community about what industries they work in and what their careers have looked like. Talk to people who are older than you at your school. A single conversation has the power to transform someone's educational aspirations. Put simply, you can't be what you can't see. When navigating the path to higher education, it's crucial to seek out scholarships. For students, apply for financial aid programs tailored to your needs. Research and learn about what different scholarships you might qualify for. Visit your careers advisor, talk to your teachers, and talk to your principal. Practice delving into online scholarship databases. Seek guidance from not-for-profit organisations who are designed to support you in your application journey. Scholarship opportunities open doors that may have otherwise have remained closed, easing your financial burden and making your dreams more attainable. Students today face a rapidly evolving world with unprecedented challenges and opportunities. To thrive, they must embrace pathways that extend beyond traditional routes. Explore various fields and research. Learn about what common qualifications you might need. Attend university open days. By leveraging these support systems, you can chart a course that aligns with your passions and aspirations. While individual action is important, overcoming educational inequity fundamentally requires us to talk about structural issues at their core. Because true progress hinges on transforming the systems that create disparities. We must invest in public schools in underserved communities to ensure access to safe and supportive learning environments. Because an investment in educational inequity is an investment in our future. We must address the digital divide and enhance access to high-speed internet and technology to ensure equal outcomes for all students. I believe that education is a privilege that opens doors, broadens horizons, and empowers us to make a positive impact on this world. It is therefore incumbent upon all of us to carry that privilege with a level of responsibility, to use our education and our skills not only for personal gain, but to uplift others and to give back to those who may not have been as fortunate. To create the world we want to see, we need to ensure that every student, regardless of their background, has access to higher education. And together, we can create a future where educational equity is a reality for all.